It's another episode of Skip Happens. Subscribe to Skip Happens on YouTube and don't miss an episode.
And here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Skip Happens. Of course, my name is Skip Clark, and Skip's going to happen tonight, but it's going to be so freaking cool. It's going to happen like you've never seen it happen before. Tonight, right here on the podcast, I've got a guy who's already been behind some of the biggest country songs. He's now stepping up and telling his own story. He's written smashes like Rockin' a Hard Place.
Yeah.
I did time for Corey Kent and This Heart, which is very cool. And of course, Jack and Jill. And I know there's a few others. Man, I went online earlier and I just said, holy crap. A lot of it I didn't know and I should have known. But I didn't realize that you're going to be in the pod zone tonight. Now he's making noise as an artist and he's got a brand new song out. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. It's hitting country radio pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. I know we're going to be playing it at the Wolf. I can promise you that.
Come on.
From small town Missouri to Nashville, this dude's got one heck of a ride already. Jacob Hackworth, welcome to the Pod Zone, my friend. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, man. I'm stoked to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, well, welcome to the house.
Yeah, man, this is sick.
How often you just hit up radio stations? You're on the radio tour.
Yeah.
But how I don't know if anybody's ever said, "Hey, come on over to the house. We're going to bring you into a pod zone and we're going to do the podcast."
First time, definitely the first time for me, and I'm glad that it's this. Yeah, this is a perfect first time for me.
Thank you. No, I'm so glad you're here, dude. I'm actually a little giddy because This Heart with Corey Kent, and of course, Bailey's song, "Rockin' a Hard Place." I get like, wow, this dude has written these #1 songs. He's going to be in my house. But, you're like the unsung hero. When you think about it, you've been writing for how long?
I signed my first publishing deal in at the end of 22.
Wow.
2022.
Okay. When did you move to Nashville from Missouri?
I moved at the end of 2019. That's when I made the leap.
Yeah. And were you writing before you moved, or did you say, this is what I want to do, and then you just kind of said, all right, I'm going?
I started writing. I worked for the railroad out of high school for 4 years.
Wow, how cool!
Yeah, that's what I was going to do for that was going to be my career. And during that time, I was young. I wasn't old enough to go to the bars or do anything that any of the guys were doing. So I wound up buying a guitar, and I'd always sang, but I was like, if I'm going to sing, I got to have a guitar, or I look pretty goofy asking somebody to play for me all the time. And I bought a guitar, and that was when that's when I got into the songwriting stuff.
And can I ask, like, how young were you when you got your guitar? I mean, did you learn on your own a little bit later on? And then here you are?
I bought a guitar when I was 20 and then just YouTube chords, and I sat in a hotel room and worked 20, I think it was, we worked 21 days on and 6 days off. So I was gone for 21 days. So I just spent my evenings picking
because of the train.
Yeah.
What were you, like a conductor?
I was on track maintenance, so I built the track.
Oh, okay. You're one of those guys.
Yeah, I was swinging a hammer and doing.
Oh man, no, that's not for me.
I never realized how gnarly.
Well, you're a big
it was.
dude, so
I was in a lot better shape then. I've definitely gained a little weight since I left the railroad.
But you had to be in shape.
Yeah, I had no choice.
That's a tough job. I mean, I could never do it. I sit in a radio station and push buttons, and that's hard.
Well, I didn't know any better. I was having fun. I was making good money.
I was just going to say the money had to be all right.
Yeah. It was good. I mean, I was young.
I mean, so you gave that up to go and do this?
Yeah, sure enough. Yeah. It wasn't planned. I gave it up to be home more. And when I had got home, I was kind of like, well, I don't really know what to do with myself. And that's when I met some people and started playing some shows around town.
Then how did you get into the songwriting aspect of it? You went to Nashville. Obviously, you've done very well.
Yeah.
I seeing you just a couple of weeks ago in Nashville and listening to you, and now signed with MCA Records, which is, dude, I just got to put my beer up for that one.
Cheers.
Yes, absolutely. That's huge. Did you ever think this would be happening to you?
Truly, I mean, I've thought about this a lot, and no, I mean, I didn't. Even when I moved to definitely before I moved to Nashville, it was always like you see it. You see all these guys and girls that are blowing up and famous, and you hear them on the radio, and you're like, that would be insane to get to do that. But it's so far fetched in a place like where I grew up that, it doesn't seem like something that you can actually obtain. And, but when I started playing music, I slowly just became obsessed with it. And that's when I became obsessed with the songwriting stuff. And I was just all the way in. And so from the time I quit the railroad, it wasn't but little over a year, and I had moved to Nashville.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quick.
Can I ask, how old were you when you decided to go?
I was 22.
Jeez.
Yep. I was 22 and I moved.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're going to a city where, you don't know anybody, but you're going to make those connections.
Yep.
You got to start somewhere. And every artist that comes into the Pod Zone, we sit and we talk about that. Like, what was it like? You made that move. You walked away from family. You went to pursue your dream. Was it scary?
It wasn't as scary. I had two of my buddies move with me, and
cool.
we played. They played in my band still, and so we moved together to do it, and so it made it a little easier moving. But once we got there, it was like, holy shit, what are we gonna do? No jobs, nothing.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of start at square one. But it was so fun looking back. At the time, I was a little scared, but it was a new place, and it was way more
change
than
anything.
Yeah, not a chance. No.
So you went from like a small town, West Plains, Missouri.
Yeah, sure enough.
And you moved to the big city of Nashville. I call it a big city now because it's a big city.
It's grown.
It's grown. Every year when we go back for our seminar, it's like, where did that come from? Where'd that building come from? Who's this? Who's that? It just keeps expanding. But what's the most small town thing about you that Nashville still hasn't knocked out of you?
The most small town thing about me, probably that I just like to ride around in my truck. I love a dirt road. I remember when I first moved to town, I drove probably 45 minutes one night at like 4 a.m. I worked for the bars, and I got off work and I drove so far out that there was no sign of me drinking a beer like I'd like to have done out in the country. But I finally found some dirt roads, and I sat out there all night. But yeah, that's what I love for sure.
Yeah. It's a red dirt road.
Yeah, 100%.
It's on a red dirt road.
Plenty of dirt road things.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just bought a brand new Canyon. I've had it 2 days. It's sitting out in the driveway. It's an off-road vehicle, and I thinking that's pretty cool to get off road.
100%. It's the best feeling ever.
Pop the tailgate. I hate to say it, but pop the tailgate. Have a cold one. No, 100%. I love saying that.
Yes.
Just go somewhere, sit.
Have a beer.
Have a beer. Why not?
Peace and quiet, man.
Exactly. I saw that Justin Bieber is one of your influences.
100%. Yeah,
really?
It was massive influence.
All right. Which honestly, I respect. Be real though. How deep did that Bieber phase go with you?
Well, it was. I definitely begged my mom to take me.
Smiles for everybody watching.
I definitely begged my mom to take me to Walmart so I could get the My World CD, and she bought the My World CD, which was his first record, and I wore it out. I could probably get through every song on the record lyric for lyric if I really tried. I wore it out, but I'm still a massive fan.
I'm not judging.
Oh, hey man, I'm
no,
full.
that's cool.
I'm all the way in. I'm all the way in. I had the hair too.
Oh my God, I love
the flip.
Yeah,
it was
hit it all going for you.
Yeah, it was perfect timing.
Did you see him on the award show here just recently?
Oh yeah,
it was like, I don't know what he was trying to do though. Wasn't he just in his boxers?
I think it was a pair of shorts. It might have been a big pair of boxers.
I don't know.
I mean, dude, he's just doing his thing. He's Justin Bieber,
Yeah. Okay. Don't do that.
Well, I wouldn't look as cool if I did it. I might freak some people out.
No comment. All right. Did you because doing what you're doing, did you ever stand in front of the mirror as a kid and absolutely perform like the room was sold out?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Really? Like that was you?
Yes, I had I remember my mom had like an old dresser drawer with like the big mirror on the back of it, and it had like a stool, and I had like a wiffle ball taped to it, and I would sit on the stool and totally dive in on the broke down part of a show where the spotlight's on you.
Who did you try the hardest to sound like? Was it, I made some notes here, Bieber, Flats, Eldine, somebody else? It
was just a mixture. I fell in love with like the singing part with Bieber, and then Rascal Flatts, and then the songwriting stuff with Flats. And then I went to an Aldine show and I was like, that dude's badass. Like that guy's way tougher than the other guys. I want to be like that. And, and I think that it all just meshed into one. And people, when I first moved to town, they kind of they'd be like, "Yo, what's up, Jacob Aldean?" They'd kind of say that I sounded like Aldean, and I was like, "Don't say that. That's not good, right?
Well, yeah,
I don't want to sound like anyone, you know."
Yeah,
So.
I mean, but is that true as an artist? You don't want to sound like somebody else.
I think that it's great.
You may be influenced a little bit.
Yeah.
You may have that, but you don't want to sound like that.
For sure.
Am I correct by saying that?
Yeah, I think so. I
You
mean,
have to be
having
unique.
characteristics of, I mean, everyone comes from something, from falling in love with something musically. And so, I mean, you're always going to have those characteristics, but yeah, you definitely want to be authentic and yourself, for sure.
Wow. You know, like I said, I saw you a couple of weeks ago, and just seeing you in that room with other artists, up and coming artists, it was a good time. And B-Dub, if you're watching this, kudos to you, my friend.
100%.
Him and I, we keep track of each other pretty close.
He was a man. He was a good time.
He definitely a good time. And it's great that you got the label to back you up, to get you in there to do that. People like your label reps. I know Summer is here tonight, but everybody from the top all the way down, you know, they know good talent when they see it and when they hear it. And that night you just blew us away. And then Summer's like, "I'm bringing them to your radio station." I said, "No, you're not. You're bringing them to my house."
Now we're here. Now we're chilling in the basement.
And we're
in the pod zone.
Yeah, with a beer.
With a beer.
How often is that? Now, if you were at the radio station, we would not be having
cold beer. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad that we're doing it here. I'm definitely glad.
I am too. Believe me, I am too. So you worked for the railroad before going all in on music. Sounds like the beginning of a country song. Have you taken those experiences and kind of put it to music a little bit? Being a songwriter, can you?
Man, I think I got asked that just here recently, and I haven't sat down and wrote the like railroad song or anything, you know, that I'm like that I want to, but it's kind of one of those songs that I feel like it's just gonna happen when it happens. It's something I can't just like sit down and just do. But
do you think about that?
Do I think about writing a railroad song, or do I think about the railroad?
Well, do you think about writing a railroad song because of your background?
100%. Yeah, I think it would definitely be awesome to have, and like especially have something cool. But you know, it's a railroad
like
song,
Off the Rails or something like that.
I've heard that. Yeah, that
really.
Brantley had a song called "Off the Rails."
Brantley. Oh,
and
that's right.
He's the man. I love Brantley too.
Yep.
So I mean, he spoiled that one for me, but you know, yeah, I definitely have thought about it, but I want it to be cool, and I want it to be, you know, me, and I just haven't landed on it yet.
What's the first song that what was the first song you learned on guitar that made you feel halfway dangerous?
Oh, the first song, probably.
If my questions are a little out of bounds.
No, I love this. I love this. That's a great question. Because I can remember it was the Luke Combs' first record that came out, and that's like what I really like when I was learning to play. That's what I was like, man, this guy plays a guitar, writes all his songs, sings his ass off. I'm like, I want to do that, you know. So that's kind of what I fell in love with first. But I think I can remember, like, I played a song called "She Got the Best of Me." That was like one of the first ones that I learned, and it's still one of my favorites of his. But yeah, I mean, he had like he used a pretty I'm not gonna say simple chord progression, but kind of.
But it worked.
But the melodies and the lyric, I mean, you don't need to have a crazy chord progression when you sing your ass off and write your ass off. So.
No, exactly. It works.
Yeah, it does.
It just comes together.
It did work.
Yeah. Tell me about your hometown, West Plains. If I were to, I would assume, what's the population?
Oh, I think it's like 11,000 now.
Okay. Now.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I was to drive into White Plains or West Plains rather, what would be the first thing I would see if I come in on the main drag?
It depends on which way you came in. If you came in on the north side, you'd see a truck stop called 14 Junction. That's what we call it. I think it's like a Phillips 66, but we all call it 14 Junction.
Okay.
And then if you came in on the south side, you'd see a racetrack, like a dirt track.
Oh,
and
cool.
Then after a while, you'd see when you got to town, you'd see a Dairy Queen. So yeah, Dairy Queen and a gas station.
Yeah, that's all right. No Buc-ee's though.
No Buc-ee's.
I have my Buc-ee's shirt on, by the way.
See, I'm a Buc-ee's fan.
I am.
You got to keep that one close to heart. That's a special place.
I do. You know, I get a lot of comments though when I wear this. There are no Buc-ee's around here.
Oh yeah,
not in the Northeast. You're not going to find them, but everybody knows.
Oh yeah, you're one of the troopers. You're repping hard.
Had to make sure I went and got a T-shirt. I got nothing else, but I bought a T-shirt.
I've had a dangerous shopping spree in Buc-ee's one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I just had I was starting to get paid from the songwriting stuff, and I went into a Buc-ee's for the first time, and I walked out with like a $250 cooler. I think I spent like $400 there. I had like mugs.
Did you
I had
fill
like
it?
the Yeti cups.
Yeah. Oh, you got
I
everything.
definitely filled it up. There was some beer in there. And
cool.
yeah, it was, we still have the cooler. It's one of my favorite coolers, but yeah, I bought one of everything in there. I felt like that day.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I had to do it though.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect timing.
I love it. Whereabouts? Now let's go. Moving on to Nashville. Where do you live in Nashville? Are you like? You don't have to tell me where exactly, but what part of town?
I live in West Nashville now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
I've kind of lived in every. I feel like I lived in South Nashville. I lived in Antioch when I first moved with my buddies. We had a place there for a couple years, and then I moved in with my girlfriend, still my girlfriend now, and I moved in with her. She lived on Demumbrian, and that
the
was
name
dangerous.
I can never pronounce.
Yes, Demon Brewing, or
I call it Demon Bro,
Yeah.
whatever. My very first trip to Nashville, 20 some odd years ago, and back then they didn't have Uber and Lyft and all that, but we're taking a taxi, and I said, "What's this Demon Bro Street? What is it?"
Yep.
And they just look at you like,
"Oh
no,
yeah."
dude.
I had to learn it because you look like an idiot if you say it too much.
I was the idiot.
No, not you, but me in Nashville, living there and on Demumbrian Street. I had
an
to learn
excuse.
it.
I was from out of town.
Yeah. You weren't. Yeah, you had the perfect excuse. But then I moved to West Nashville, so now I still live in West Nashville.
Oh, cool. Do you like make the trip downtown? Are you playing in any of the bars down there? Every artist has a bar.
Yeah, I mean, I
shouldn't say every artist, but a good number of them now have bars with their names on it.
100%.
Do you get a chance to do that?
I used to. I used to play down there. I mean, I'm sure you know the Omni. I played bar lines. We had a weekly thing there.
I know the Omni.
I've played a lot of the bars on Broadway, but I don't so much anymore. But I did my time. I feel like so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still go down there. I mean, everything music is downtown Nashville, Music Row. I go down there and write as much as possible. Now being on radio tour.
Tell me about what's it like to write? Who are you writing with? Where do you go? I mean, you got Corey Kent.
Oh yeah,
This Heart, was that the first one?
No, that was I'm trying to think when we wrote that. We wrote it, I think, in 23.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, when you first start writing and when you first get to town, you're writing with anybody and everybody that'll write with you. You're just trying to write and craft that thing. And then it slowly, when you start having success, then you sign a pub deal, and then now you're working in the pub houses, and you're writing at Warner, and you're writing at the publishing places, and you slowly kind of find that group that you write well with, and you kind of just dial it in and dial it in and dial it in. But I've wrote with everybody. I mean, Nashville's the songwriting hub of the country. I will rep that until I die.
Now, how did it go? You've written these number one songs. Yeah. So an artist comes in, or how does that happen? You write the songs and then they pitch.
Yeah, there's there's several ways that it can happen. But you have publishers who, help you book your calendar, and then they also help pitch songs, and they have pitch meetings where they go into the labels and work with A&R, and they find out what the artists are looking for, and then they kind of take what they have and, hey, we have this and this and this, and if the A&R people enjoy it, or if there's an artist in there, they'll hey, I really like that, and they'll hold it and take it.
When a song went to number one, what was that like? Did you know that it was like going, or did you go, holy shit, my song, this is crazy. I'm a co-writer on that, and it went to number one.
Yeah, I mean,
and you're running to the mailbox.
Yeah, it was a crazy thing. I mean, Rockin' a Hard Place, I mean, it was just, it was so massive that we kind of, but that was my first cut ever. That was my first label cut.
No way.
Yeah, major label song. And so I got to learn everything through that whole process.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of like, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And then it was a big, holy crap moment a lot of times. But yeah, definitely lost my shit.
Yeah.
I was freaking out.
Yeah. That's good. And congrats on that, because it wasn't only that, of course, This Heart, which we talked about, and some other ones.
100%.
And that's why before we went on with the lights and the cameras, I go, dude, why are you doing this? Because as a radio guy, and I look a little bit beyond the song, and I look at the songwriters.
Yeah.
I've seen your name. You all right?
I'm on a few of them out there. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was asking Alexa earlier at dinner, going to say, okay, what songs did, Jacob Hackworth write? Hackworth write.
Yeah.
And it'd come up, and it had Corey Kent and stuff.
Oh yeah,
so
man.
That was so cool.
Corey's the man. He crushed that song. And, I was so happy that it rang the bell, and he deserves every bit of it. And I was so glad that he cut the song.
So, are you happy? Would you be happier as a songwriter or an artist?
I mean, this was always what I wanted to do. This is why I moved to Nashville.
As an artist,
yeah, to be an artist, and that was the end goal for me, was to get to do this. But the songwriting stuff worked first, and luckily I just had the right people around me, and I signed with the right publishing and management deal, with right management, and they just were like, let's focus on the songwriting stuff because my management's amazing. Cost Weaver, shout out. He's the man, and he kind of was like, this is going to help you in the long run. Obviously, the artist thing is what we want to do, but you're having a lot of fun right now, and you're having some success. Let's really craft, what you want to do as an artist, and I think focusing on the songwriting is going to help that the most, and it did.
Wow. Yeah. So being a successful songwriter, which you are, it makes it easier, or it makes it easier to do what you're doing, right? When you start putting your own artist project out there.
I mean, I have a ton of songs. I know what I want to do as an artist and how I like the songs that I want to make. And also I've made a ton of relationships with other artists and just music business in general, anyone and everyone that's in Nashville. I think it's just helped me in a million different ways, and I couldn't be happier with how it's worked out. I'm grateful. I'm blessed, man. This is amazing.
And that's one thing I have to say when it comes to the country artist, and those of you that are writing and those of you that are, the actual artists on the songs. I mean, everybody's just so humble. Everybody's so cool. You're doing what you love. I'm sitting here doing what I love.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man.
It is a blessing.
We couldn't be any luckier.
Yep. And we have a beer.
And we have a cold beer. Cheers.
Yeah, even the people in the background. There you go. Cheers. Cheers. But that's good. That's good.
That's good stuff.
It is definitely good. So you're a Bud guy, huh?
I do like I like a Bud Light. It was the first beer that I ever drank, and I kind of had to tough my way through a few of them. There was definitely some drink on a red dirt road for sure.
Let's have a little bit of fun. What was the last thing that really made you mad?
The last thing that made me mad? Dang, dude, that's a good question. I don't
Seriously,
know.
Because we all go through life. What was the last thing that made you mad?
If I really thought about it, it would probably be, probably today when I was trying to get in my hotel room and I had my luggage and my guitar, and then I had some other stuff in one arm, and I couldn't get the door open and get my suitcase through it. And it kind of pissed me off, but I got in there. So
the guitar is still in one piece.
Thank God. We got good cases. That was probably my.
How do you handle when you get mad? How do you handle it?
Just try to shut up and just don't let it get the best of me. I'm
a smart man. Smart man.
I don't get too irritated too often.
Who was your first celebrity crush?
Britney Spears.
Wow, that came out like right away. I didn't even finish the sentence yet. No, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I can remember watching her on TV when I was little.
Maybe not now, but before, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's an amazing artist. She's done some amazing stuff, but it was definitely a long time ago.
What about junk food on the road?
Junk food on the road, that's an easy one, man. I try to stay out of the snacks and stuff, but the late night food is where I've lost the battle a few times. The pizza and the burgers. Taco Bell is dangerous.
I know exactly when you're on the road. And for example, this is you're on the road this week visiting different radio people, radio stations, doing what you have to do, but you're always on the go.
Yeah,
and it's like you're hungry. Oh, there's a Wendy's, there's a Burger King, there's a McDonald's. Let's go through the drive-through.
Yeah,
and then you just can't help it though.
Yeah, it's good, dude. It's good.
Summer, she's probably got a salad in the bag or something.
Yeah, but I feel like Summer could eat anything, and she's going to be perfectly fine.
Probably.
I was not blessed that way. Yeah. And I just eat. I'll house.
So tell me about the response you're getting from artists. Who was the latest to text you?
I don't even know. Tucker. I'm super close with Tucker, and he called me. He called me.
You got to get on the road with him, by the way. Yeah,
I'm on the road with him in the fall. I'm there. He's bringing me back out. I went out.
If you go to Red Rocks, I want to be there.
We're going to Red Rocks. We're playing Red Rocks. I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah.
Have you ever been to Red Rocks?
No.
That is, I think I might have told Summer this, and I did not realize that you and Tucker were playing Red Rocks.
Yeah.
So, but Red Rocks is on my bucket list. That's one venue I would die to see.
Me too. it's going to be a full circle, just a crazy moment.
Wow, dude.
And I'm with my buddies Vincent and Tucker. Tucker. And
Vincent Mason?
No, just Tucker. Tucker. It's a Tucker show. Sorry, I got my names confused.
But
Vincent is a good friend of mine. But yeah, I'm out with Tucker for the Red Rock show, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna I don't even know how to even think about walking out of that stage. I'm gonna get there early.
That place is just something about Red Rocks. There's something about that place. I don't know. I see the pictures and, I go on YouTube and I look at the videos and all the different artists that are, have performed there. Yeah. And I hear from a lot of artists that they want to perform there. And I just, it's just, and I've talked to people that have been there. It's just like, wow.
It's a dream venue to play. And for a lot of people. And I can't even think about it. I'm just excited.
I'm excited for you, dude. I'm
gonna be flipping
I'll bring
out.
the Bud Light.
Hey, there's gonna be definitely some of that happening for sure.
What is there something you require when you do these shows? Like you ask for a case of Bud, or you want that in your dressing room or in the green room or whatever?
I flip around a little bit. I mean, I love a good shot of whiskey, before we go play, and I feel like that's kind of an obvious one. But I kind of switch it up. I'll do like Tito's ginger ale, splash of cran. I always try to have that in the green room, or I'll do like Jack and Sprite.
Ooh, have you ever had Winter Jack?
Yes, every Christmas when it comes out.
Yes.
Yeah, I go grab it.
Dude, yes.
Yeah, that was the
I
thing,
have 2 bottles of it up there that we didn't finish this year.
Yeah.
And every Christmas when it comes out, I have to go get the Winter Jack. Here's what you do.
I got to know this because we usually just drink a bottle of
it.
No.
And you can do that very easily because it is so good.
Yeah.
And it's so smooth. It's almost like an apple cider. Yeah. Well, you get a crock pot. You dump the whiskey in there. Go get some cider. Like caramel cider or whatever. Mix it all up. Heat it up. Drink it warm. It is.
I haven't done that, but that does sound good.
I'm telling you, when it's cold, I know here in the Northeast, it's snow right up to like yesterday. We had snow, so it's
I'm trying to think. Definitely. What is that? What is it called? A hot toddy.
Hot toddy.
So it's kind of similar to that, but it's a cider version.
Yes, but it's cider.
Yeah,
and you mix them together. You put them in a crock pot. Just warm it up.
Yeah, yeah. We might have to try that.
Yeah.
That might have to happen.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
You might want to do it after.
I'll send you a picture of this one. I'll send you a picture.
You're definitely gonna have to do
the
that.
Winter Jack's awesome. Yeah, we've drank the crap out of
that. What's the worst job you ever had? I mean, you talked about working on the railroad, but. We all go through things in life. I had a lot of jobs.
Worst job I've ever had. I've kind of done some. I don't know. I've never. The hardest one would have to be the railroad. That was like,
but that was hard.
Yeah, it was hard.
But and it's not that you disliked it, right?
There was some. It's not that I disliked it. It's just one that you weren't super pumped to go do. But it was, you had to do it. It kind of, I was, like I said, I was young.
Mm-hmm,
I never really thought about it, but I'm trying to think of something that I was just like, I hate this. Oh, dang. I worked for Amazon for a little bit and I hated that. I didn't like it.
Wait a minute. You worked, so were you delivering?
Yeah, I delivered packages. Yeah, that was.
Throw it on the front step, take a picture and walk away?
Yes. And I've delivered like a whole half day with one shoe on because a dog chased me through the yard and lost the shoe. And it took the shoe and I just couldn't get it back.
How long ago was that?
That was in 20, at the end of 2020, at the beginning of 21.
All right.
Yeah.
So like right around COVID.
Yep. That was my first job when I worked for Losers during COVID and they let everybody go. And then Amazon was my first job back.
Oh, Losers.
Yeah. I was a bar back at Losers.
We need more ice.
Yeah. I was ripping ice. I was bringing plenty of it around.
Stock the fridge.
Lots of cases of beer.
Yeah. That guy over there is drinking us out of. We need more Bud Light. Yep. But wow, that's crazy. What is the most Nashville thing you own now?
The most Nashville thing I own, man, probably a Gibson J200. That was like my dream guitar. So I got a couple of them now.
I was going to ask, how many guitars do you have?
Oof, I probably have 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And a different sound out of each one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
they're all different.
when you go to write, do you take a particular guitar with you, depending on what you're in the mood for? How does all that work?
I kind of have like one that they're like the first guitar that I ever got. My uncle, he sold it to me technically, but I never paid him. Actually, come to find out, he reminded me of that later on. But it was an Alvarez acoustic, just no pickup or anything, and I like to write on that a lot just because it was like the first thing that I ever had, and I had put stickers all over it, when I was first starting, and that was also a Luke Combs thing. Shout out to Luke Combs. He did that, and I was like, well, I've got to do that.
Got to do that.
And
as long as you don't do what Bieber did, don't go in your boxes.
I'll try to stay away from it. But
I know.
That guitar is one that I like to ride on a lot.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep.
So, do you have names for your guitars?
No, I haven't. I haven't named them.
Just guitar.
Yeah, I guess what they're actually called. I
got my Taylor.
Yeah, the Taylors are nice. I had a Taylor for a little bit, but I sold it to go home, and then we wound up going to the bar, and I spent all my money at the bar. That was early on.
Was it? Was it?
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, all right. Because this is a podcast called Skip Happens, what's one story from your journey so far that people don't know yet, but really says everything about who you are?
Oh, man, that's a great question. One story that no one knows, but explains a lot. Let's see. Ask me the question one more time. I'm so sorry.
I had to do that.
I know. I'm so sorry.
All right.
I got to really think.
All right, here we go. Because I wrote it out. Good thing I did. And because this is Skip Happens, what's one story from your journey that people don't know yet, but really says everything about who you are, Jacob?
I think people are slowly finding out that that I work for the railroad, but quit and moved to Nashville to make music. But I think that kind of explains who I am as an artist. I'm very eager to do this, and this is something that I've always loved and dreamed of doing. And when it came time to actually make the leap, I did it, and I try to do that. I try to do that as much as possible in the scenario I'm in now with everything. If I can go play a show, or I can come hang out with you, if I can go write a song,
anytime. We got plenty.
I'll be back, man. But that's just kind of how I try to do this thing and just be there every chance I get.
You're so humble, as I said before. But I talk to you, and I talk to other artists, and it's and by doing this in the podcast setting, we get to go a little bit deeper. We get to find out who you really are.
Yeah.
And you know what? And in most cases, if not all, you're just a human being. You're just a real person. You're just somebody that's living their dream. You're dedicated to your craft, whether it's what I do, what you do. And it proves to people that are watching this or listening to this, whether it's here live or they watch it back, that, you know what? You're just like them. They're just like you. 100%. And I think that is the most important thing. And it's always one fan at a time. And if you make that connection, you got a fan for life.
1,000%. I was a fan first. And I've
went
to
exactly.
a million
Me
concerts,
too.
and I've studied everything and watched all the podcasts and interviews and obsessed over it. And I think
you should do your own podcast. What do you think you'd call it?
Oh, what do you think I call it? I don't know. Probably the Hack Show. Everyone called me. Everyone called me Hack.
At your name, seeing what we could do with it.
Everyone called me Hack. Show. So I don't know.
The Hack Show. What other have you been out with Bobby Bones or any of those guys yet?
No, I haven't.
I'm sure that's coming.
I've listened to a million of the podcasts.
Yeah. Do you have which one do you there's so many podcasts.
Yeah.
Everybody does their own thing, and we all have our own different style. I love talking to the artist. So, but is there one in particular that you listen to?
And I was really big into listening to him. I loved listening to the Bobby Bones Show.
Okay.
I loved his podcast.
Yeah, he does a great job.
I liked Whiskey Riff. I listened to them for a long time. But that was kind of the only two that I really got into. I really liked watching the live interviews where you could, see them and actually see how they reacted and all these artists and stuff. I was weird, but I was obsessed with it.
Right. Let's say I was to grab your phone right now and open it up and look at your playlist, what artist would surprise me the most?
Miley Cyrus, maybe. Yeah, she's
Party in the USA.
It's called Angels Like You. I've been on that song. I came out in 2020, but
yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, I've been obsessing over that. Or there's another group called In Color that I've been listening to a ton, and they're sick.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, did you get a chance to take in the show at the Omni at CRS a couple of years ago with Aldine and all those guys?
No, I mean we played bar lines, but I didn't even know a lot of people stayed there until I was in the middle of playing Till You Can't, covering Till You Can't by Cody Johnson, and I had my stinking eyes closed. And he walked up and tipped me. And I didn't even know it because I had my eyes closed the whole time.
Whoa. Cody
Cody Johnson, yeah. Yeah, tipped me. And
how much was the tip?
Man, I didn't look. I didn't know. I didn't even know that he tipped me because I
would
was
have been
playing.
taking the jar, going, "All right, what did he just put in there?"
I was more shell shocked when I opened
Dude,
my
that
eyes.
is so awesome.
Yeah, everyone was kind of looking at him.
And did he?
And
He knew who you were, obviously. He knows you're a songwriter, or maybe
this is before anything. This is before I had any songwriting success.
Oh,
or anything.
I got you. So that's going back a little bit.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about.
No. I got you. I got you though. Wow.
But yeah, that was a cool. Wild story. Yeah.
That's cool. So how long did it take you to write a song like Corey Kent's? Or Bailey? I mean, because I'm talking to the people, as I mentioned, the artist, and they say, we wrote this song in 20 minutes and it went on to be a smash. And I'm going, 20 minutes? Are you kidding me? They go, no, sometimes they just kind of fall right together. Next thing you know. And then there's other times that, you got a week of writing down notes and trying things, nothing sounding right.
Yeah. There's a lot of, I think when it comes to talking about how long a song took, there's no telling. But I mean, on, with This Heart, from the time we sat down and drank our coffee and caught up and talked and hung out for a little bit and decided on what we were going to do, we probably wrote it and had it, had the vocal done and the demo done in 3 hours,
Wow.
So it's just different. You write some fast, you write some.
We did a show with Corey not that long ago. So
he's the man.
He's the man. He's cool. He's cool. Definitely cool.
He's like the coolest guy.
So, a couple of weeks ago when you performed in a suite in Nashville for all these radio people, did you feel like, holy shit, these people can either make me or break me? Or I was going to ask, because of your background, already having the number one songs where you're like, all right, I'm cool with this. Yeah, I'm cool with this. But do you still get that?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. With the songwriting side of things, all you can do is write the song. Then once you've wrote it, it's kind of out of your hands. But now on the artist front, I can work my tail off and try to play that thing as much as possible and try to show as many people and hang out and get to know everybody as much as I can. It's a long game, I think, on the artist front. And it's definitely a relationship that I've enjoyed getting to make with everybody. And but yeah, I definitely was like, I gotta kick it in gear here. We gotta knock this one out.
I don't think you have anything to worry about, but if something did happen, I already know you don't. I mean, you've got these songwriting credits. You've got number one songs under your belt now. But if you weren't doing this, what do you think? Would you still be with the Railroad, or what would you be doing?
If I wasn't doing anything music?
Yeah.
Phew. I don't know.
Let's say, all of a sudden something happened and I'm done with this.
I mean, I think, I had a pretty good opportunity at kind of working higher up in the Railroad. So I'd try not to do some of the grunt work that I once was doing and maybe try to find another position. But yeah, maybe the Railroad. I know it a lot.
I'm going to be a little bit of a geek because there's one that trains and airplanes fascinate me.
They're pretty interesting.
Both. They do. I can sit at the airport and watch planes and just listen to the conversations and wonder what's going on. I got friends that are pilots with some major airlines, and it's like, man, I wanted to do that, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong, but
100%
still. And then with trains, if we get a chance to take the train to New York City from Syracuse here, it's a 5-hour train ride, but it's awesome. You go down the Hudson and you see so much, and it just amazes me.
A whole nother it's lay of the land.
Yeah, it is. And you can bring a cooler on board.
I didn't know that. I've never rode on those planes, but I would.
On the trains.
Yeah.
I thought you said planes.
Oh,
but
trains,
no. Bring a cooler on board. You got Wi-Fi. You can do whatever you want. You can pop a Bud Light, sit there, enjoy the ride. My wife can have her wine. I can have my beer. We're good to go.
That's a good time.
We're good to go. Yeah,
that's a good time.
We do that every once in a while. So, Jacob, so awesome, dude.
Thank you for having me, man. This has been so fun.
Well, it's the Skip Happens podcast. Make sure you tell your friends about it.
100%.
We're going to take a little bit of a break. When we come back, you're going to play the single.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And maybe give us a little surprise. I don't know. It's up
we
to
can
you,
do
whatever
it.
you want to do.
We can do it.
And so you're watching this. Just stay right there. We're going to come right back. But Jay, I got to make sure I get the name right because I want to put an S. You can't.
It
say
happens
it,
more than you know.
Hackworth. It's Hackworth.
Yep.
I don't know. That's why I keep looking back. I hope I don't screw it up. But because I did that, I'm going to screw it up.
That's fine. Everyone always asks me, how much is a hack worth? And
how much is it worth?
Well, I had a principal one time that used to ask me every time I was late to school. He'd go, "How much is a hack worth?" And I go, "Oh, not very much today."
I love it. But thank you for being here on Skip Happens. We're going to come right back and we're going to hear some music. So stay right there, everybody.